All right. First and foremost, I want to say, call all Yahweh by Shema Shai. What I just said is all praises to the Father in the name of the Son. I also want to say Yahweh by Shema Shai Barakatah, or Most High in Christ bless. What I'm going to do is go into this, man. It was on my spirit to do this, man. So, can't stop the spirit for how I operate, man. What really I'm going to go into is not really how to save these heathen, man. That's just not the lesson that I'm doing, man. Don't think that's the lesson that's about to be presented. I'm going to be uploading camp footage today, man. Waiting for it to be uploaded now, man. 26% onto my computer. Trying to see if that helped with the uploading process for the camp footage. But I went into that camp today about this, man, and I'm just gonna basically do what I do, man, and let the spirit guide me, man. Then write nothing down, just going to shoot off the hip with this. But this Isaiah 56 verse. Let's start at verse 3. Right, it says, neither let the son of the stranger that have joined himself to Yahweh speak, saying, Yahweh hath utterly separated me from his people, neither let the eunuch say, behold, I am a dry tree. We're going to jump down a couple verses, right? Because this is about the eunuchs, and I believe the eunuchs are the Israelites, not the children of the strangers, man. So verse 6, it says, also the stranger, the son of the stranger, that join themselves unto Yahweh to serve him, right? To love the name of Yahweh, to be his servants, right? Everyone that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it and take hold of my covenant. So let's see here, man, right? It's all off the hip, right? So we're going to operate with the scriptures I know off the hip. But this 1 John chapter 5 verse 3, for this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous, man. Right? So if you understand what I'm getting to, man, right, you should be able to understand these things that we have to do in order for us to be saved, and for the strangers to get a little bit of leeway in the kingdom, man. And this is all based off upon Isaiah 56, man. It's not about how I feel, it's about what the scriptures say, man. And it says, everyone that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it and taketh hold of my covenant, man. So you gotta keep the Sabbath, and you gotta take the hold of it, man. You cannot be breaking the laws of God if you're gonna be one of these type of strangers, man, right? Because in verse 7 it says, even them will I bring to my holy mountain, and make them joyful in my house of prayer, right? Their burnt offerings and their sacrifice shall be accepted, right? It ain't no way around this, right? Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be accepted upon mine altar, man. Right? For mine house shall be called an house of prayer for all people, man. Right? And we're just gonna keep on going. We're not gonna keep on going in this, man. But we're gonna give you some examples of who did this, man. Right? This is Isaiah 1, and I know it's about the sons, but it's the only examples we really have are here. This is Salakia, Ruth chapter 1 verse 16, right? It says, and Ruth said, entreat me not to leave thee, or to return from following after thee. Whither thou goest, I will go, and whither thou lodgest, I will lodge, and thy people shall be my people, and thy God my God. So she literally took hold on them and loved the Most High God, man. So we see it here, man. Now, let's give another example. Now, some people might argue that this man in Acts 10 is not a heathen, man. I know it's crazy to think that some people would assume that it is anybody other than an Israelite, but let's just say hypothetically, right? I'm not going to definitively say that Cornelius was an Israelite or Cornelius was a heathen, right? Cornelius is who he was, man. This was actually something I went into at camp as well, and that's why I'm getting this, man. So there was a certain man in Caesarea, right, called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band, right? And people will say that Cornelius is a Northern Kingdom brother, man, but we gotta understand, if Northern Kingdom was not around during this time, right? And yeah, we got the account in Matthew, or Mark about the woman at the well, where we see that she was a Northern Kingdom sister. So it's not too far off to believe that he's Northern Kingdom, but most of the Northern Kingdom was gone at this time, man. Uh, and we not gonna sugarcoat that and act like if he was in Caesarea, right? Let's go to this. I hope I spelled that right. I don't believe I did, right? So it's a city in Israel, right? Let's go here. I want to get a map. So Caesarea was in the Northern Kingdom. It's hard to see that, man. Let's do some zooming in here, man. Of course, they wanted to give it to me how I usually have my screen here, man. So here, man, we see in that is a cold city, right, in Samaria, right, and Samaria was dwelled with heathen, man. Heathens was dwelling in Samaria for the most part. We do see some Israelites in Samaria, but this was mostly occupied by heathen, and the coast city of Caesarea was known to be the Roman governor of in Judea, man. So this was a Roman governor who led or basically dealt in this place, and this was easiest way to get from Rome to Israel, man, by sea, and this was right the coast city, man. So that's why Caesarea was a place where mostly heathens dwelt, man. This was not a place of where Israelites dwelt, man. Some people will say that it is the place where the Israelites were. Josephus would say that, man. But we understand that a lot of people were not Israelites in here, and some people were Israelites. I would not go and say definitively whether it was Persians and Arabs, and whether it was a bunch of heathen, man, whether it was mostly Israelites. We don't have that information, man, right? But what we do know is that it was heathen there, man. So for Cornelius being in Caesarea, we cannot definitively say whether he was an Israelite or whether he was a heathen, man. But it says a devout man. Now let's go here, man, right? Let's go into that word. Right, and we're gonna give you another example of this in that's used in Acts 10 to describe somebody who might be not definitively an Israelite or a heathen, man. Right, we cannot say this, man. So this word devout, man, pious, dutiful, man. He did the duty, godly. Basically, this is well reverent, pious, devout, godly. He was a righteous man, pretty much, man. So let's finish this off in Acts 10. It says a devout man. So he kept the laws of God, to say the least, man, and one that feared God, man. Right, hold on. So like, yeah, I don't know this one off the top of my head. I think it's Psalm 111 and 10. Okay, yeah, Deuteronomy, and this is another one too, but let's keep on going here. It says, one that feared God with all his house, which gave much alms to the people and prayed to God always, man. So he was a perfect man, right? If Cornelius was a heathen, man, and he was perfect, man, or kept keeping the laws at least, man, that means that he kept the ways of the Most High. And that's one thing that we see in that we're not going to call him unclean or clean, man, right? And it's basically what it is. He's a just man, right? It ain't saying that he's an Israelite. It ain't saying that he's not an Israelite. But what I would say is, if he is a heathen, man, he was one that feared God, and that's why the vision of the Lord came to Peter, man. Right? And let's go to Deuteronomy. Right, and this is obvious about the children of Israel. We understand this, right? But this is Deuteronomy 6 and 2. It says that thou mayest fear the Lord thy God, to keep all his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee, right? Thou and thy son and thy son's sons all the days of thy life, right? That thy days may be prolonged, man. So if he feared the Most High, he kept the commandments, man. In order to be get some leeway in the kingdom, you need to be keeping the commandments, man. Right? This is for the strangers, man. This is Israelites. They should know this already, man. As an Israelite, you should know this, man. But this is applicable to the Israelites as well, man. Right? So this Revelation chapter 22. To do that. In verse 14 it says, blessed are they that do his commandments, right? That they may have right to the tree of life and may enter into the gates into the city. So we see in Isaiah 56 that they're going to be able to go into the Most High's house, man, and give sacrifices, man. How can they do that if they're not keeping the commandments, man? Right? That's what it really goes down to, man. This is a quick video, man, because really what it comes down to is these heathen, they teach that the laws of God are done away with, man. And for them to teach that, that means that they're not going to get a shot, man. They're not going to get a shot to get no leeway, right? They just going to be like this, man. Hold on. So, right? There ain't no way around this stuff, man. You cannot get nothing else to this, man. It's simple, man. Isaiah 14 verse 1, it says, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. That's what we seeing, man. Right? That's what we seeing, man. And then it says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land for of Yahweh for servants and handmaids, right? And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, right? And they shall rule over their oppressors. That's how it's going to be for these heathen, man, that don't keep the ways. It ain't about works for the heathen, man. It's about works for the Israelites, man. It's about works for the Israelites and the children of Israel, man. It's not about works for the heathen. The heathen could be oppressors, and they could get into the kingdom through as captives, right? That's what the Bible says, man. Right? And we got to understand that they're going to be paying back for what they did to us, man, right? Let's get another one, right? And this might be controversial, or somebody might not like this lesson, but it is what it is, man. It's Revelation 13 and 9. It says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. This does not change, right? He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints, the children of Israel, man. Right? So we're not negating what's going on, man. But if a heathen gonna keep the commandments and they're gonna pay alms to the children of Israel, man, so be it, man. Right? And then that's gonna give them the chance to have some leeway in the kingdom, right? But it does also say in Isaiah 56 that the sons of the stranger, not the stranger, it's the sons, their generations after they generate for a couple of years, man. This could not talking about right away. Once we get the kingdom, y'all gonna be right there with us, man. No, this is about after a period of time, man. Right? And it comes down to right now where a lot of these people don't believe they have to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, man. It's a person on Twitter, man, that his name is John Croker. He might even blocked me already, man, or unfollow me. By the way, I'll be coming at Esau so crazy on Twitter, man. But he actually preaches the keeping up God's commandments, man. And there's other Israelites who have that Yehudim and all that other stuff, Yahweh, Yahuwah, all that stuff in their what is it called, man? Their bios, man. They have all that stuff in their bios, man. And they preach the keeping of the commandments, man. They keep the feast days. Some of them wear fringes, man. Some of them do X, Y, and Z, man. And there ain't nothing we could do to stop them from keeping the commandments, man. So if they're going to try and keep the commandments to get into the kingdom, they are not children of the Most High God, man. That's not what it is. They are heathens that's going to be accepted in order to give their sacrifice, man. And we understand that that's going to happen in the kingdom. That's not about right now, man. And it is what it is, man. We cannot get around this, man. So if a heathen want to come in and look at this video, man, and understand what they got to do, man, so be it. Because there ain't nothing we could do to change this, right? There's nothing we could do to stop them. And I don't believe that we should try and stop them from keeping the commandments of God. Because then we could give to them with usury, but they can't give to us with usury, right? We could rule over them with bigger. They can't rule over us with bigger. They gotta get in line, man. They gotta understand a proper order, man. We're not gonna oppress them, but we're gonna be able to operate in a right manner that is supposed to be done. Right. So with that, I want to say shalom. Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Barakatah. AG8 till we see the day.